good afternoon or good day, whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world. Welcome today. Today we are going to follow a tradition that has been part of Centers for Spiritual Living as long as I've been a member of it, and I've been a minister 16 years. So it's probably more than 25 years. But the first month of the year, January, Centers for Spiritual Living review the first 4 chapters of the Science of Mind textbook, which are truly our relationship with God and how we relate and how God works for us. In Ernest Holmes' radio programs and TV programs, he always started it with, there is a power in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it. I truly believe that he would have been more correct if he had said, you are using it. And our topic for today is how to use it. And we're going to look at how we use this divine presence, this God stuff in our lives, either consciously or unconsciously. I'd like to start with several quotes from Dr. Holmes. The practice of science of mind calls for a positive understanding of the spirit of truth and a willingness to let this inner spirit guide us with the conscious knowledge that the law of God is perfect. The law of God is perfect. And as Reverend Jane has been sharing in our Prosperity Plus 3 class, that as she tithes, she believes that God is her partner, and God is an awesome partner because God only wants 10%. And she gives that graciously. And this is part of the law of that God is perfect, because when we use God as our partner, anything is possible. Holmes also says, we should learn to control our thought process and bring them into line with reality. Thought should trend more and more towards affirmative attitude of the mind that is positive, stable, and above all else, towards a real unity with spirit that is already complete and perfect. And this is one of my favorite quotes, and probably in my life, it's probably one of the truer that I ever read. One of the great differences in the new order of thought is that we are likely to indulge in too much theory and too little practice. So today we're going to talk more about practice than theory. And the last one I'd like to share, it has been proven that by thinking correctly and by a conscious mental use of the law of mind, we can cause it to do definite things for us and through us. By conscious thinking, we give conscious direction to it, and it consciously or unconsciously responds to our advance along the line of our consciousness and subjective direction. So basically what I've just said in several different ways is what we think and where we put our thought is what shows up in our life. The tagline for this denomination used to be, change your thinking, change your life. So we're going to talk today about the importance of changing our thinking. And I'm also going to talk some about Raymond Hollowell's working with the law and what he calls his 3 steps to build up realities. And what I want you to understand is that where we put our attention and thought is truly what shows up in our life. If you don't like what is going on in your life right now, you need to be aware of what you're thinking and make the conscious effort to monitor your thoughts and change them when they are not in line with what you want to experience. Hollowell has an interesting way of looking at that, and he talks about interest. And he said the first step to take is called interest. Interest is paying special attention to some object or thing. It is being definitely concerned about someone or something. Interest is tending to see the outer world as it already exists in our mind. So what are we interested in? What is it that we want to see happen? And how do we get distracted? Holmes uses many times the example that our mind is like a garden. And when we're growing a vegetable garden or a flower garden or any kind of garden, we have to weed the garden. We have to prepare the soil. We have to plant the seeds. And then in order to achieve what we want to achieve, we have to weed the garden. We have to pull out those things that aren't what we want to experience, those things that we're not interested in. And we have to do the same thing in our own mind. We have to, and we're going to do an exercise in a little while that will give us the opportunity to do this. So when we figure out what we're interested in, then we have to be very careful about where we're putting our attention. And there's a difference between intention and attention. Our attention is where our mind actually goes. Our intention is where our mind, our intention is what the universe hears or sees that we want to experience. It says in the Christian Bible, it is done unto you as you believe. And the most important word in that sentence is as. And if you think you believe one way and the direct opposite is showing up in your life, you're not putting your attention on your intention. So it is your responsibility to be very clear of what you're interested in and where you're putting your attention. And to be clear enough to weed out those thoughts and ideas that don't serve you. And then we have to expect what we want to achieve. And I love Hollowell's example of the cat sitting watching the mouse hole. Because that cat knows at some point that mouse is going to come out of that hole and dinner is going to show up. He expects it to happen. He's very interested in it happening, and he pays extreme attention to make sure that he's ready when it does happen. So the three things we need to remember is that we need to know what we're interested in. We have to pay attention to make sure that we're actually putting our attention where we want it to be. And then we have to expect it to happen. Great things happen when we truly let God be our partner. And when we're very clear about what it is we want to manifest and how we want to accept it. And when we do things like tithing our tithe and our time and our talents and just really embody whatever it is that we want to experience. So one of the things that we've been looking at a lot in Prosperity Plus 3 is just really asking ourselves, where is our intention? Where is our attention? What have we been thinking about? And really consciously making an effort at several times during the day, or maybe even several times during the hour of searching your thoughts and saying, what am I paying attention to? Is this where I want my mind to be? So we're going to take about the next 5 minutes and we're going to do a little exercise, a little meditation. I know several of you may be driving, so don't close your eyes, but the rest of you just and all of you can take a deep breath. And just take a deep breath and relax into this moment. And just be aware of how your breath circulates through your body. And be aware that this circulation is also your connection with the divine, your connection with God, your divine business partner. So I want you to ask yourself, where are my thoughts? Where is my interest? Where is my intention? Where are my thoughts about my personal life and my business life? Are these the kind of thoughts that will lead to the manifestation of my expectation? Are there any blocks? Are there any old attitudes, beliefs, judgments, anything that is blocking that divine circulation between my interest, attention, and expectation and spirit, God, working with me and through me to allow these expectations to manifest? What is it time to let go of? And now breathe in that divine love, that divine wholeness, that divine guidance. And knowing there's more than your heart can even hold. Who are you to share this with? And how are you to share this divine guidance, this divine love, this divine expression that's who you are? And now bring this love, this guidance, this new understanding of your interest, attention, and expectation in both your personal and business life. Bring it back into your heart as you begin to move in your chair and bring yourself back to this room. And I want to end with an affirmation. I use my mind, thoughts, and feelings to create a vision or an expectation of what I desire. And then I move towards that expectation's manifestation.